Welcome to the Explainer. On May 20th, 2026, something happened that completely shattered the illusion of AI being just this, futuristic talking point. This isn't some theoretical think piece about what might happen a decade from now. No, this is about what is actually happening right now to real people at real companies. Two major announcements hit the wire on the exact same day, and they tell a story that, honestly, absolutely everyone needs to hear. Take Meta, for example. We're talking about one of the most profitable companies in human history. They pulled in a staggering $62 billion in net income last year alone. But on that crisp morning in May, Meta sent out termination notices to 8,000 of its employees. That's 10% of its entire global workforce, just gone in a single morning. And the crazy part? They weren't the only ones making massive moves that day. Intuit, the powerhouse behind massive software tools like TurboTax and QuickBooks, they announced 3,000 job cuts of their own, wiping out 17% of their global headcount on the exact same day. Now, what's truly alarming about both of these announcements is the reasoning. Think about it. Neither company is in a recession. Revenue isn't falling. They are both highly profitable and growing fast. The explicitly stated reason for cutting all these human workers? AI.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1. The reality of AI layoffs.
To really grasp what's going on, we have to zoom out to the macro view, because a massive structural shift is happening across the entire economy right now, and the hard data is honestly far more dramatic than most people realize. In the first quarter of 2026, nearly half, 47.9% to be exact, of all tech layoffs were directly driven by AI automation and workflow changes. We're literally talking about roughly 400 people losing their jobs to artificial intelligence every single working day. AI isn't just a buzzword anymore. It's become a measurable, verified cause of unemployment. By the end of May, total tech layoffs for the year had absolutely rocketed to 142,000. And here is the absolutely crucial point. Those specifically AI-attributed cuts we just talked about, they don't just matter to Silicon Valley. They account for roughly 17% of all job losses announced across every single sector in the economy in 2026. This thing is moving so fast that state governments are literally scrambling to draft emergency executive orders just to study the displacement. Which brings us to Section 2, the collapse of entry level. So who is actually losing their jobs? If you think these cuts are only hitting senior managers or, obsolete legacy roles, the data paints a very different and very stark picture. The burden is falling heavily on young professionals and entry-level workers. For the last 2 decades, the formula was super simple, right? Get a computer science degree, land a high-paying junior developer job, write basic code, fix some bugs. But look at the new reality. AI coding tools like GitHub Copilot, Claude Code, and OpenAI Codex are now doing that exact entry-level work faster and infinitely cheaper. The demand for junior developers has virtually collapsed overnight. And the statistics absolutely back this up. Take this recent data from Stanford HAI. It reveals a staggering 20% absolute drop in employment for software developers under the age of 26 since 2024. Even young workers, ages 22 to 25 in AI-exposed roles, have seen a 13% decline. And hey, it's not just tech. Wall Street banks have publicly announced plans to eliminate around 200,000 entry-level and back-office jobs over the next few years. We're watching a whole generation enter the workforce at the exact moment their expected entry-level jobs are being automated away. Let's pull back the curtain a bit in Section 3, the corporate AI strategy. Why on earth are the most successful companies in the world doing this? Well, step into any corporate boardroom right now, and you'll see it isn't an accident. It is a highly calculated, literal strategy of replacing human workers with machine capital. The pattern across the tech giants is identical. Record profits, simultaneous workforce reductions, and massive record-breaking AI investments. Meta cuts 8,000 jobs. But hey, they announce $65 billion in AI infrastructure investment. Microsoft lays off 15,000 workers while spending an unbelievable $146 billion on AI this year. Amazon is planning 30,000 corporate cuts while pivoting heavily to an AI focus. Combined, these major tech companies are funding a $700 billion AI infrastructure build-out in 2026, and they're doing it largely by using the payroll savings from the very people they are letting go.
I really want to highlight this specific phrase from Workday's recent layoff announcement: reallocate resources toward AI. Guys, this is the most brutally honest piece of corporate speak you will ever see. It simply means we are taking the money we were spending on human beings and we're spending it on software to build more software. Humans are literally being replaced by the machines their own companies are currently building.
So where is this all heading? Let's look at Section 4, what the experts predict. With a shift this monumental, the obvious question is, where does this end? Unlike most economic debates, brilliant minds are taking completely opposite positions on whether AI will ultimately create or destroy jobs. The optimistic historical view, championed by the World Economic Forum, projects a net creation of 78 million jobs globally by 2030. Their argument is that just like the industrial and computer revolutions, AI is going to automate old tasks but create entirely new industries. On the flip side, the pessimistic view argues this time is genuinely different because AI automates cognitive work. We're talking analysis and judgment. Boston Consulting Group warns that up to 15% of all U.S. jobs could be entirely eliminated over the next 5 years alone. To really ground this debate, we have to look at this quote from Geoffrey Hinton. He's widely known as the godfather of AI. The man who literally built the foundational research for modern artificial intelligence says, "The scale of displacement will exceed anything previous technological revolutions caused, and I do not know what the answer is." Think about that for a second. When the inventor of the technology admits he doesn't know how bad the job losses will get, that isn't just pessimism. That is sobering honesty.
All right, let's pivot to some good news. Section 5, how to adapt now.
The landscape is clearly shifting right under our feet, but understanding this actually gives you power. So let's look at a practical survival guide for your career. The structural reality right now is that while basic execution jobs are being destroyed, highly specialized roles are genuinely booming. Companies are absolutely desperate for AI trainers who can direct and refine AI outputs. Machine learning infrastructure roles, they carry a massive salary premium right now. AI safety and governance is a field that basically didn't even exist 5 years ago, but now it's critical. And perhaps most importantly, applied AI specialists, people who combine deep industry knowledge in fields like finance or medicine with total AI fluency. Depending on where you are in your career, your strategy has to change. If you're early in your career, please do not plan your path around basic execution roles. Your most protective investment right now is AI fluency, learning exactly how to direct AI to output complex, reliable work. If you're mid-career, the pipeline beneath you is shrinking fast. You must elevate yourself into the layer of work that requires human judgment, complex relationships, and genuine creativity. And if you manage people, your value isn't just in buying an off-the-shelf AI tool, it's in figuring out how to build entirely new AI-native workflows for your team. I want to leave you all with a quick, practical challenge today. Go to a free tool like ChatGPT or Claude. Just write out everything you do in a typical work week and ask the AI honestly, which of these tasks could you do right now and which require genuinely human judgment? The people winning in this market aren't running away from AI. They are the ones treating it as the most powerful tool they've ever been handed. So, has AI affected your job yet? Or do you think your role is safe? Drop your experiences in the comments below. I really want to find out what this community is actually experiencing out there. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.